Welcome to Techidia Daily. I'm Dubisi Ekekwe. A conversation today we focus on why Nigeria needs a cybersecurity and cyber warfare military command. You know, over the last few years, we have seen how information wars and how technology has basically shaped the conflict of nations. And that has made it necessary that every country has to develop capabilities, not necessarily in the physical space, but also in the cyberspace. Just few days ago, a communications week noted that Nigeria lost 2.19 billion naira to cyber criminals in 2016, and digital payments, which is basically going up in Nigeria, actually accounted for some of the fraud elements, growing up to 82% from 2015 figures. And also fraud in mobile banking is up, e-commerce, web, kiosk checks, and you just name them. Of course, as these platforms continue to increase, we are going to see that bad people are increasingly going to figure out how they will penetrate into our systems and into our infrastructure to actually cause illegal harm to our economic viability as a nation. So it means that we have to find a way to defend, we have to find a way to harden, we have to find a way, if necessary, also to attack them. As a nation, we have put forward a national cybersecurity strategy and policy from the Office of the National Security Advisor to the President. And what we have seen is that we have gotten the policy elements right. And but we have not built any technical resilience or any technical capability, which are going to be very critical in helping us to build a system that can actually practically defend us. So we also have some bills in the National Assembly related to cybersecurity, and of course, the National Information Technology Development Agency NIDA has what they call SAT, which basically is an apparatus that helps them to respond and assist on certain cybersecurity related issues that basically affect federal government networks. So, but if you look at all these constructs, we are just still talking. We are not necessarily acting. We are not necessarily deepening our capabilities or hardening our infrastructural readiness for us to defend the digital landscape of Nigeria. Of course, we have the AB system supplied by the Israeli company called ABIS, and the National Intelligence Agency and the SSX are the entities that have been responsible for some of these classified things. But if you look at it clearly, what these companies supply to Nigeria is basically a black box. Just take it or leave it. And they use them to look into a telecommunication system, look into tap and other things. But it's not homegrown and it's inherently defective and it's also very expensive. In short, if the nation has gone the other way around to build homegrown organic capability without this construct of acquisition and maintenance of foreign technology in this space, we would have actually gotten it easier. So I do believe that Nigeria needs a new strategy. We need a strategy that is homegrown, that is organically architected, and that is also nurtured by home talents. And it's only when we do that that we can see our capabilities, our readiness to confront whatever that they throw our way. Because the construct of the risk, we know is changing every day. So this is not a black box that you can anticipate what is going to happen tomorrow. And that's why you need your homegrown infrastructural capabilities for you to react, for you to transmute and change and adapt as these conflicts are constantly changing. We saw what happened in the US election where the Russians played a very significant role. We also noticed what happened in Stuxnet, where the nuclear program in Iran was basically brought to standstill when the infrastructural systems started misbehaving because of a Stuxnet cybersecurity attack in their facilities. We are in the age of information war. It is not likely that Ghana is going to bomb Nigeria with a grenade or with a bomb or hellfire bomb, but it's very likely that somebody in Ghana may actually like to hack Nigeria. And so we are looking at our capabilities in terms of intellectual property, in terms of our national security, in terms of our defense capabilities. These are things which are opened, and Nigeria needs a strategy to deal with this. So today I am proposing a National Cybersecurity and Cyber Warfare Military Command Center, the NYCYBERCOM, NGCYBERCOM. So it is going to be an electronic command control communication computer intelligence surveillance target acquisition and reconnaissance system. It's going to say C4I star that will have an operational capability within the 3C strategic capability: cyber defense, cyber warfare, and cyber espionage. So we will build this resilience and we will build this capability, and we will understand all the elements that are going to be critical in building a very strong cybersecurity defense mechanism in the country. And this fits exactly into the national cybersecurity policy and strategy, but with a military-grade implementation. In other words, I am looking forward when we will have a battalion of soldiers that are actually dedicated for the cyberspace. So just like we have today, battalion of soldiers stationed in Meduguri, battalion of soldiers stationed around every part of our country, we need a battalion of soldiers who are stationed on the internet, because Nigerians that are living on the internet is actually largely more than any specific state in the country. So even as we have these soldiers stationed to defend the integrity of our territory, we need to understand that we also have a cyberspace territory that must be defended by these soldiers. So this military-grade cyber command is a very critical element on our ability to protect, to defend, to harden, to secure, and where necessary, to go on offense in order to keep our nation safe. War we are seeing today is the war of the fifth domain, is the cyberspace. It's penetrated through clusters of computer system and delivering logic bombs, which we may not necessarily see as sulfur or all those things they used to make physical bombs, but they have a lot of impact. We just saw what happened in the WannaCry computer war that spread all over the world over the last few weeks. And also what Estonia went through in their Web War 1, essentially where some of the infrastructural facilities, telecommunication, power systems were brought down. Ukraine has also experienced the same thing. Georgia, the country, has also experienced the same thing. So this is a conflict that comes to you not by choice. It comes whether you like it or not. But remember that the world has no nuclear proliferation treaty, but there is none for cyber war. So what nations are doing, that they are building that capability internally. The US has their NSA, the UK has their GCHQ. Nigeria needs a military cyber command immediately. And I'm giving you a structure how this is going to look at, to be divided into two broad categories. You have the first level of authority that will deal with intelligence. You have the other phase that will deal with warfighter. This intelligence one can be the present INI, and then you have the warfighter, which will be the defense intelligence system. All of them will now be brought together under one umbrella, under one director, who will be the director of the NGCYBERCOM. The good news here is that we already have the P6, but we need these commanders who are going to be very critical in actually making sure that we can execute a strategy. So then we work hand in hand to see how we gather the right data, we build the homegrown capabilities, identifying the young people right when they're in the secondary school to the time they're universities, and pushing them using the Israeli strategy to build the resilience and the capabilities that we need. It is time we don't have to go to buy foreign software which may not necessarily help us to drive our intelligent capabilities. So the critical mission here is this. It should be a military-grade system managed by the military, and they are going to be extremely very, very important in helping us to build this system. We have to have the equipment, we have to have the ability to plan, coordinate, integrate, synchronize all elements of what we're doing. We have to plan, and we have to build a spectrum, military cyber spectrum. And we also have to ensure that we have this mission very well integrated in making sure that the commercial elements of our economy is also well taken care of. That is the reason why I want them to have a cyber service unit, which can actually help to secure some of our telecommunication infrastructure, some of our power systems, our banking network, and our banking institutions. So the big deal is this. We can have a system that does so many things at the level of defense, at the level of military protection, and yet also offer services to the commercial sectors. So the constructs are going to be signals, enterprise, and corporate management and communication. These are going to be the groups that we are going to see under the NGCYBERCOM Command. And then we will have this specific scope. First is that we have to operate and achieve the ability to navigate and maneuver freely in cyberspace and within the radio frequency spectrum. And we also need the scope to defend actively, ensuring ability to command and control its operational forces in key environment nationwide. And then we have to move that capability in the area of exploitation and attack on command and in coordination with joint commanders, conduct operations and achieve effects in and through cyberspace. We will work with 5-pillar design. We recognize that the new domain of warfare is cyberspace. And we will also be very critical that the Nigeria Army, the new university they are planning to start in September, understand these constructs and build it into their curriculum as quickly as possible. You have to have a proactive defense mechanism, and we have to build the critical infrastructure protection readiness. And they will have to have that ability, use of collective defense, in order to provide our ability to dictate and also to incorporate them into our cyber warfare defense structure. And then we have to maintain and enhance the advantage of technological change. And that means bringing computer literacy for our citizens as well as driving AI capabilities in our defense structure. You know, our nation has a real opportunity to drive this process. You know, the full document is actually prepared by a subsidiary of my group, Milonis Analytics. And if you need it, please, you can just send me an email. We would like to share that with you. But what we are trying to do here is very simple. We need a strategy, a plan for the country where we need to have a battalion of soldiers that are dedicated for the cyberspace of our nation. Just like we have some of them stationed to secure the physical landscape of our country, the same thing is applicable because the largest state in Nigeria is really the internet. That is where you have the largest population of Nigerians living virtually at any point in time. And we have to have that ability, we have to have the capacity for us to secure, just like the way we want to secure Lagos and Kano, two of our biggest states. We also need to understand that internet is a state in Nigeria and it requires for us to protect it. Our citizens are participating in commerce and industry. Our citizens are involved in so many elements, day-to-day things they do online. And I do believe vividly our capability, our systems that the military can deliver to protect them is going to be very critical in building a virtuoso innovation system in our country that will make sure we do not experience challenges like this. You are listening to Tekidia Daily.